congrats to Danny and Wake Forest. I thought they showed a toughness today. I thought they stayed together after our good start, and they made plays down the stretch, whether it's making free throws, stepping up and making big corner threes, big-time offensive rebound, putback dunk by Mucius. And so congrats to them. You know, very, very tough loss for us, very disappointing loss for us. I thought we got off to a good start. I thought we rebounded well. I thought I think it was about the 10-minute mark of the first half, I thought we became incredibly stagnant offensively. And we went from plus 16 to just plus 3. And so I thought the way we finished the half gave them momentum and even more confidence going into the second half. And then I thought the second half, it was just, you know, we played tentative against the zone. And it stood us up. We were a little bit unsure. We didn't have the movement that's required to really attack the zone. We practiced against it and worked and thought we were prepared. But you know, they just made plays, and you know, down the stretch, disappointing. Our last few possessions, we didn't get the shots that we really wanted, and that's on all of us. And we have to do a better job in those situations, knowing where we want to get the shots from, and making sure we execute to do that. We can't panic. But again, congrats to them. They made plays, and tough loss for us.
Jeff, where does the stagnancy that you talked about?
Well, I thought some of it in the first half came, we were in foul trouble. And Xavier went out, and we had to go with Trey at the point. And I thought that's where it came from a little bit. And then Trey picked up his second, so we were trying to rotate those two guys to close the half so we don't have them pick up a third. But I thought when Xavier went out and we switched and things like that, I thought that's where it became stagnant during that time.
When you talk about the shots that you took down the stretch, especially at the end there, was the emphasis there, the attempt to get it to Murphy? Because obviously he was seeing a lot of attention.
Yeah, well, it was to get a good shot. You know, it was to get a good shot. Out of one of the timeouts, we did have something drawn up for Murphy. But there were other options too. And I thought we panicked. In some ways. I thought, you know, again, it comes from a good place at times. Like, I have to make a play. And it can never be that. It has to be we have to do it, and we have to do it together. And that's where we have to grow up. We have to understand that, and we have to realize that, and we have to be able to do that in real time.
Jeff, was the plan there coming out of the time to try to get one, try to go 2 for 1 there, and did they just not give you something early, or at that point were you just looking for a good shot?
Out of the timeout, it wasn't to go 2 for 1. We were looking for a good shot. I think we were down 1 at that time, and we were just looking for a good shot. And we had something drawn up, and I thought we shot it a little bit quickly in the shot clock.
Johnson had the shot where he kind of threw it up from the right elbow. You had a timeout remaining. Was that what you were upset about with him?
Well, it wasn't a good shot. That's what I was upset about. It wasn't a good shot. I mean, in that situation, I thought, you know, there was a dead situation. When I say dead, he picked up his dribble. And so it's a situation like that. In hindsight, yeah, we should have called a timeout. I'm not as confident how we would have been coming out of a timeout. Like, we haven't been good coming out of timeouts. And so in that situation, we thought we had something in transition. We also I didn't want Wake to set their defense up. But when we're in that situation like that, that is a time where we could have taken a timeout. Also, you can make a pass too. You know, we can just get it. Like, we can't panic in that situation and just throw something up or try to throw something up and flop like we're getting fouled. Like, you have to be strong. You know, you have to be strong throughout a game, and that's not just physically strong. You have to be mentally sharp, and we have to continue to grow in that area. We've been at times this year. We were not this afternoon.
How tough has it been for you when opposing teams know, and Danny says part of their game plan was to stop those two, Trey and Nix, and you know that their strength is driving to the basket, and you know that these teams are going to try to collapse on them and double them, get some help defense. How tough has that been to run an offense when that's what teams are obviously trying to take away, and that's their strength?
It's been a challenge, but that's where we have to trust everybody, and you have to make the proper plays. You know, you can't try to force and just think, well, I'm gonna do. So, no, we have to do. We have to do. You know, coming into this game, Brandon Childress had taken probably about 60 more shots than anyone on their team, the next guy. In some cases 80, in some cases 100 more shots. And he took 4 tonight and was happy with that. He didn't try to force. He didn't try to. Now, he was our game plan. That's their leading scorer. He leads them in rebounding, leads them in steals. So one of the things with our game plan was to really have our antenna up against him. And he did a great job of letting the game come to him and trusting other guys to make plays. And that's why Musa, you know, he was able to step up and make plays. White hit a big 3 in the corner, and all of that was off of Childress's penetration. Now you're talking about a senior, a guy that's been through wars, a guy that's been through, and understand maybe he doesn't make those same plays. Maybe he tries to force them as a sophomore, as a freshman. But when you've been through it, and you know, like, you have a better understanding. Again, with my guys, I don't think it comes from a bad place. Like, I want them to want to be able to make plays, but we have to make the right plays all the time. And it's, you know, that's a necessary requirement from here on out, because we don't play any of the, you know, there's no disrespect to the Monmouths or the Canisiuses or the Arkansas Pine Bluffs, but this league's a lot different than that. And, you know, today showed that.
In a game like that one, Jeff, how noticeable was Audice's absence?
It was a big time. I mean, we knew it. I knew it coming in that it was going to be a big thing for us because of rotation, you know, with how we like to play. You know, we haven't played 2 bigs much this year. I think we did it a little bit against Kansas State out of necessity because of foul trouble. And it was a little bit easier there because they played 2 bigs. Kansas State did. And so with us, you know, today we had to foul. I knew that's something that could happen if we got into foul trouble, and we had 2 of our better players pick up 2 fouls. I think before the under 8 timeout, right around 10 minutes of the first half, and so we had to go with that a little bit. And because of that, we had to play zone. I thought our man was pretty good early, but we had to play zone because of matchups. I didn't think that we could put any of our bigs on, you know, their quote-unquote 4-man who's really a guard. And so it was a big thing for us. Even some of the things we do offensively, you know, when we have 2 bigs in, that takes away some of the stuff that we like to attempt to do. So it was a big thing for us. Don't know when he's going to be back. We have to get adjusted to it. Hopefully it's soon, but not really sure when he's going to be back for us.
Are those skills that allow a player to make big shots down the stretch, make the right choices, are those learned traits, or are they innate in certain players?
Well, I think it depends on the player. I think it depends on the player. I mean, somebody can get lucky and throw something up and it goes in, and that's a big shot. But it's just lucky, you know. Or you can have a guy that's what they do. I think the thing is that you can't be afraid to take the shot, but it has to be a good shot. And you know, the really good players, they're able to get a good shot. You know, now you're talking about some of the better guys, you know, that play in this world. But I think it depends on the player, and I think it depends on your definition of a big shot.
What did you think of Eric's response coming off maybe his worst game of the year Monday?
Yeah, I thought he did some good things for us. I certainly thought his energy was good for us. He rebounded the basketball better. That's something we've challenged him to get back to doing. So again, I thought he did some good things for us. But you know, look, we didn't do good things. That's the bottom line. For me, it's never about an individual. It's we. It's us. It's our. We didn't do what was required for us to win a basketball game today, and that's incredibly disappointing.
What do you think, Jeff, can be learned by your guys from a game like this, from a loss like this?
You got to play 40 minutes. You know, there are a lot of things that are required to be good, and we have to do them all the time. and we can't do them for a 10-minute period and think we can take a break and think that we can just turn it back on again. And we have to do that. We have to get back to defending at a high level. This is 2 games in a row where we haven't done that. I thought we rebounded the ball better today, but this is 2 games in a row where, you know, our defense hasn't been what it was before we took a break. And so we have to get back to doing that and to understanding the required discipline and focus it takes to defend. You can't take a play off. You can't be out of a stance. You can't not talk. You can't not call a switch. You can't just assume that this guy is going to know that I'm going to switch. Those are things that we've done at a pretty high level that there's been a little bit of slippage with. We have to get back, you know, to that and understanding what's required to be really good.
Last question.
It seemed like you had Murphy really going in the first half, and then maybe they were able to take him away a little better in the second half. What did you think was the difference there?
I thought that there was more attention on him in the second half. I thought we missed him a few times on some of the plays. You know, some of the movements offensively. I thought we missed him, but I thought Wake had their antenna up a little bit more in the second half to get to him a little bit quicker.